Shalom and thank you for joining us. And today's lesson in Hebrew is from Yehochanan, John, chapter 5, verses 5 to 9. So let us now begin. And even before we begin that, I have for you the vowel marking chart, which shows you how to use the different vowels, how to approximate them, and also very useful resources, which will help you so much in your study. So let us now begin. And as you can see, we begin with a Hey, which is the fifth letter of the alphabet, so we know we're in verse 5. So we go through the letters, as we always do. Vav, Shin, Mem. So fit, that means mem at the end of a word, which is it's a closed mem. Then we have an aleph, yod, shin, aleph, chet, dalet, vav, hey, vav, aleph. The aleph's in white, so it's not pronounced. Then we have a vayet, chet, lamed, yod, vav. Shin, lamed, shin, yod, mem. So fit, remembering that when we've got the vav with the dot above it, it's actually the O sound there. It's called a cholam. So let us begin. Ve-sham, and there. Ish, a man, echad, meaning one, the who and he, v'chal yo, in his sickness. The his is the pronoun on the end. Often the pronoun's on the end. And then we have shaloshim. It means 30. And if we look down here, we've got chala, which is a PL verb, to sicken or to become sick. Then we have shalosh, which is 3, and that's the root of that one. And when we add the yod and the mem sofit, it's plural, it's multiplied, so it becomes 30. And just out of interest, I also have shilesh, which is a PL verb to triple, to divide into 3. And that's also a Tamidic term as well. And of course the translation is, there was a certain man and he was in his sickness for 30. Now we can read that. And it is Vesham, Ish, Echad, Vehu, Vechal Yo, Shelo Shim. And the translation, and there a man one, that means one man, and he, in his sickness, 30. And then we go to part B, and we have the letters, Vav, Shin, Mem, Nun, Hey, Shin, Nun, Hey, and we read it, Ushmone, Ushmone. And 8. If we look down here, we've got Shemone is 8, but the dictionary told us that when it's said this way when counting in feminine. And when counting in masculine, it said Shemona, 8. Just to give you a little bit of added information. So it is and 8. And then we have Shana, which is translated as years. And I always thought that was a bit weird because it's like a singular form but they always translate it as years. So the translation was sick for 30 and 8 years. So of course that's translated 30 years, 38 years. So now we read that. Ushmone, Shana, and 8 years. So now we come to verse 6, represented with a vav, the 6th letter of the alphabet. And then we go through letters. Vav, yod, resh, aleph. Aleph, tav, vav, yod, hey, vav, Shin, should be a dot right there. Ayin, Shin, Kaf, Vayet, Vav, Yod, Dalet, Ayin, Kaf, Yod, Aleph, Resh, Kaf, Vav, Lamed, and Vav. So let's read it. Vayar, and he saw. Now, why is it saw and not shall see? Because we've got a Vav in front of the Yar. And that gives us a completed perfect form. And he saw. Oto, him, Yahushua, or Yahusha, Shokav, lying. And why is it shokav? Why is it lying? It looks like a participle because the cholam, which usually represents a participle, lying. If we look down here, ra'ah is a kal verb to see. That was the first one. And then now we're looking at shakav, which is a kal verb to lie down, to repose, to recline. And then we read here, va'yeda. And he knew, again, it's a perfect form with the vav in front of it. And he knew, ki, that, arku, lo, arku, they were long. And then lo is for him. If we look down here, we've got arak, which is a kal verb to take long, to last, to drag out, to be long. And of course, I've also given you yada there, to know, to be aware, to recognize. So the translation is, Yeshua saw him lying there and knew that it had been many. So we're going to read that. Vayar, Oto, Yahushua, Shokev, Vayeda, ki, arku, lo. And the literal translation, and he saw him, Yahusha, lying, and he knew that they were long for him. And now we come to part B of that one. We have a yod, mem, yod, chet, lamed, yod, vav, vav, yod, aleph, mem, resh, aleph, lamed, yod, vav, hey, tav, chet, pei, because of the dot, zadi, sofit, zadi at the end of a word, lamed, hey, resh, fei, because there's no dot, and aleph. So we read it. Yemei, the days of. Now, why is it of? Because it's a construct form with a zera and the yod at the end. It's construct. And then we have chalyo, his sickness. Va yomer, and he said, Elev, unto him, ha tach pots. Are you desiring? Right? So first we've got to work out why is it a question? Because the hey there is a questioning hey. Are you desiring? And with the tav we could say it's second person. And I've chosen to call it a participle because of the cholam again. So are you desiring? Now if we look down here, when we look to desiring, we have chefetz as a masculine noun. It means a want or a desire, and chafatz as a kal verb means to want, to desire. And then we have leherafeh, leherafeh, to be healed. If we look down here, repay is a PL verb to heal, to cure. So that's like a verbal form, and this is to be healed. So the translation, he was many days in his sickness. He then said to him, do you desire to be healed? And so now let's read it. Yemei, Chalyo, Vayomer, Eliav, Ha Tach Pots, Leherafei. The days of his sickness. So therefore they were long from the previous. They were long, the days of his sickness. And he said unto him, are you desiring to be healed? And so we come to now 7a. And we see it's represented with a Zion, which is the 7th letter of the alphabet. And then we go through the letters. Vav Yod, Ayin, Nun Safit, that means Nun at the end of a word. The normal Nun looks like that, but Nun Safit looks like that. Then we have a Hey, Chet, Vav, Lamed, Hey, Aleph, Dalet, Nun, Yod, Aleph, Yod, Nun Safit, Aleph, Yod, Shin, Aleph, Tav, Yod, Lamed, Hey, Shin, Lamed, Yod, Kaf, Nun, Yod. And we read it. Vaya'an, and he answered. And that's a perfect form again because of the prefix. Because the root of it is ana, which means to answer, right? And then we have ha chole, meaning the sick, and I've added man, the sick man. And he answered the sick man, Adoni, my master, Ayan, ish, meaning not a man, iti, with me. So the it can mean with me. Le hash li ke ni. The hash li ke ni. To cast me. We can see the ni at the end means me, and of course le at the beginning means to. So in the middle we have hishlik in its verbal form. To throw, to cast, to expel. And then we've got tashlik, which is a masculine noun found in Judaism for the prayer recited on Rosh Hashanah when casting bread on the water. And again, its meaning is you shall cast. So let us read that now. Vaya'an ha-chole Adoni ayin ish iti le hashli keni. And he answered, the sick man, my master, not a man with me to cast me. And now we come to 7b. And we have an Aleph Lamed, Hey, Bet, Resh, Kaf, Hey. Bet, Hey, Resh, Ayin, Shin. Hey, Mem, Yod, Mem, Safit. Va, Vet, Tet, Resh, Mem, Safit, Aleph, Vet, Aleph. And we read it. El, to, or into, Ha, Bereka, Ha, Bereka. The pool, into the pool. Behera'esh. Behera'esh. In the stirring of. I've added of there. If we look down here, we've got ra'ash as a masculine noun means a noise, a sound, a hullabaloo. And then we have hirish, which is a verb to make a noise, to erupt. It's like a hifil, verb stem. So, in the stirring of ha-mayim, the water, uv terem, and when not yet. Translate generally as and before. Avo, and the pronoun is at the beginning, I come. because vo means come, right? And I've given you down here terem as an adverb or adjective. It means before, pre, not yet. So now we can read that one. El ha bereka behe ra esh hamayim uv terem avo. Into the pool, in the stirring of the water, and when not yet I come. And now we come to 7c. We have a vav yod resh dalet, aleph chet resh, lamed fe nun yod. And we read it. Ve'yarad, ve'yarad, and he goes down. If we look at yarad, it's a kol verb to descend, to go down, even to diminish. And he goes down. Acher, meaning another. And here we have it. Acher, adjective, means another, different. But just so we don't get confused, we also have achar. Achar as a preposition, it means after. But this one means another. Lefanei. And that can be translated to my face, but generally they translate as before me. Before I come, another goes down before me. And so now we can read that. Ve'yarad acher lefanei. And he goes down another to my face, before me. And we have verse 8 represented with chet, the 8th letter of the alphabet. Then we have a vav, yod, aleph, mem, resh, aleph, lamed, yod, vav, yod, hey, vav, shin, ayin, kuf, vav, mem, sofit, sin, aleph. Va-yo-mer, and he said, Elev, unto him, Yeshua, kum, meaning arise. Sa. So what is the root of sa? Of course, it comes from nasa, which is here. Nasa is a kol verb to carry, to bear. It can also mean to lift up. And then we have nissa, which is a verb to be lifted up, to be carried, to be raised. So you'll find in Hebrew, they often drop letters off, but we just got to understand its root word. So it's only sa. Instead of saying nasa, they just say sa. It's like, I think it may be an imperative form or so. Yeshua said to him, arise, carry. So now we can read that. Vayomer, Elev, Yahushua, kum, sa. And he said unto him, Yahusha, arise, carry. And now we come to part B. And we have an aleph, a tav, a mem, a shin, a kaf, a veyet, a kaf, so fit. Then we have a vav, hey, tav, hey, lamed, kaf, so fit. Kaf at the end of a word. Et grammar marker, mish, kaf, ka. Mishkav ka. Your bed. And the ka at the end, of course, is your, the pronoun. The hit, halek, and walk. It seems to be a hit, pa'el, a causative action. So it's like, and it's like him telling him, cause to walk. Make yourself walk. Arise, carry your mat, and walk. And we have mishkav, which is a masculine noun meaning couch, bed. It can even mean grave. And shakav is a kol verb to lie down, to recline. And I've given you this one because it's a more accurate one based on the translation of mat. And the word for mat is actually machzelet, machzelet, a feminine noun meaning a mat or a doormat. And then I've also given you halak, which is your root word for the last one, which is a kol verb to walk, to go, to leave. So, now we can read that. And it is et mish kav ka v'hit halek. Grammar marker your bed and walk. And now we turn to 9a, and it's a tet. And we know tet is the 9th letter of the alphabet, so it has a value of 9. So that's why they use it for verse 9. Then we have a vav, kaf, resh, gimel, ayin, shin, vayet, hey, aleph, yod, shin, lamed, aleph, yod, tav, nun, vav, vav, yod, sin, aleph. And it is uk, rega, and like immediately. So let's have a look. We see rega as an adjective means right now, immediately, at the moment. Shav meaning returned, because we know shav means to return. Ha-ish, the man, le-e-ta, no, to his strength. So what's the root there? Eitan. It's a noun. It means strength. It means healthy. It means firm. It means staunch. So I've translated to his strength. Va-yi-sa. And he carried. Why is it carried? We got the prefix again. Because the root is nasa, meaning to carry, to bear, to lift up. And the root is nasa, but the prefix tells us it's a completed form, not an incomplete form with a vav in front of it. And he carried, a completed action. Instantly the man regained his strength and picked up. And so now we can read it without any aids. Ukrega, shav, ha-ish, le-e, ta no, va-yi-sa. And like immediately returned the man to his strength, and he carried. And now we come to 5b, and we have an aleph, a tav, a mem, a shin, a kaf, a vayet, a vav. Vav yod tav hey lamed kaf sofit, vav hey yod vav mem sofit, hey again, vav aleph, yod vav mem sofit, hey shin bayet tav. Et grammar marker mish kavo, his bedding. Again, the O at the end is his bedding, because we know that mishkav is bed. So his bedding, or his bed. Vayit halak, and he walked. V'ha-yom, and the day. Ha-hu, that means that day, and I've added was. Yom, the day, and I've added of. Ha-Shabbat, the Shabbat. And the translation, and picked up his mat and walked. That day was the day of the Sabbath. And I've also given you hushkav, which is a verb to be put to bed. And so we can read that. Et mishkavo vayit halak. The ha-yom, ha-hu, yom, ha-Shabbat. Grammar marker his bedding, and he walked, and the day that was the day of the Shabbat. And so after all that, we come to our revision. And we see we've got a hey, we know we're in verse 5. The sham, and there, ish, a man, echad, one, vehu, and he, vechal yo, in his sickness, shalom shim, 30. And there a man, one, and he in his sickness, 30. Ushmone, and 8. Shemone is 8. Shana, year. And 8 years. Then we have a Vav. We're in verse 6. Vayar, and he saw. Oto, him. Yahushua, Shokev, lying. Vayeda, and he knew. Ki, that. Arku, they were long. Lo, for him. And he saw him, Yahushua, lying, and he knew that they were long for him. Then we read, we're in part B of 6, Yemei, the days of Chalyo, his sickness, Vayomer, and he said, Elev, unto him, Ha tach pots, are you desiring lehe rafe, to be healed? The days of his sickness. And he said to him, are you desiring to be healed? And we have a Zion, which has a value of 7, so we know we're in verse 7. Vaya'an, and he answered, ha-chole, meaning the sick, or the sick man, Adoni, my master, ein ish, not a man, iti, with me, lehash li keni, to cast me. And he answered the sick man, my master, not a man with me to cast me. El, which can mean into, ha-beraka, the pool, behera esh, in the stirring of, we could say, hamayim, the water, uv terem, and in or when not yet, avo, I come. Into the pool, in the stirring of the water, and when not yet, or mostly translate and before, I come. Ve yarad, and he descends, or he goes down. Echer, another, lefanei, before me, or to my face. And he goes down, another, to my face, before me. Then we have a chet, which has a value of 8. And then we read it. Vayomer, and he said, Elev, unto him, Yahushua, come, arise, sar, carry. And that could be take up, lift up. And he said unto him, Yahushua, arise, carry. Et grammar marker, mish, kav, ka, meaning your bed, your bedding. The hit, halek, and walk. And it's like a hifil, like a cause to walk, right? And walk, so it's almost like an imperative statement. Your grammar marker your bedding and walk. And then we come to 9, which is represented with the tet, and it is uk rega, and like immediately. Shav returned, Ha'ish the man, le'etano to his strength. Vayisa, and he carried. And like immediately returned the man to his strength, and he carried. Et grammar marker mishkavo, which is his bedding. Vayit halak, and he walked. Vehayom, and the day, and we could say what, yeah, the day. Hahu, that, and then we could add was. Yom, the day. Ha, Shabbat, of the Shabbat. Grammar marker his bedding, and he walked, and the day that was the day of the Shabbat. And that brings us to the end of verse 9, and then we just again have our vowel marking chart just to make sure that we are fully aware that a kamat is a slightly longer A and patak is a shorter A, zere is a longer E sound, and segol, it's shorter, se. And then we have shiva, which is a break of syllables in the word. And then we have cholam, which gives you the O sound. We have shutruk, which is the shorter U sound, and then we have kulbutz, a longer U sound. Then we have a combination of shiva and segol, which is called a kataf segol. Then we have chirik, that's the I sound. Then we have kataf patak, combination of these two. The patak again is shorter A sound, and then we have kataf kamatz after the shiva, a longer A sound. And finally we have our chart, as we have every week, just to remind us of the values and also to encourage us again to use these resources, which are very useful in our study of Hebrew. And so we will go in a different direction. So we see we've got Vav 6, Hey 5, Dalet 4, Gimel 3, Vet 2, Aleph 1, Lamed 30, Kaf 20, Yod 10, Tet 9, Chet 8, Zion 7, Zadeh 90, Fe 80, Ayin 70, Samek 60, Nun 50, Mem 40, Tav 400, Shin 300, Resh 200, Kuf 100. And by going through these each time, I just hope that we begin to remember when we see the letter what its value is. If you see a samak, you should remember it has a value of 60. A zadeh has a value of 90. So it's all about just learning their values, which can be very useful in recognizing verses, but also if we desire to go into gematria, which is where we use the values of all the letters in a word to see that numerical value, what word it corresponds to. Okay, and I'd like to thank you for joining us again, and I do pray these are useful to you and they encourage you to keep learning Hebrew. And we just want to wish you a Shavua Tov, a good week in Yeshua, our Master and our King and our Redeemer. Amen.